Students, this is second part of the chapter The Mughal Empire. In this part we will study about Akbar. We have read about Akbar many times. We have read about the interesting stories of Akbar and Birbal as well. Akbar was son of Humayun. He was born when Humayun exiled for 15 years. Akbar was born in 1542 CE in Amarkot when his father was a fugitive there. Fugitive is a person who has escaped or is hiding. Akbar was only 13 years old when he was crowned emperor in 1556 CE. Akbar then shifted his capital to Agra. Akbar was an ambitious man. After consolidating his rule over Delhi and Agra, he systematically began to subjugate all his potential rivals in the east, west, south, and northwest. Subjugate means to conquer and bring under control. By 1601 CE, the Mughal Empire stretched from Afghanistan to Bengal and from Kashmir to Deccan. However, Akbar was not only dependent on military force to strengthen and extend his authority. He had strong administrative system. He followed the policy of religious tolerance and thus ensured the support of the Rajputs and Sikhs. Let us have a look at his administrative system. During his time, Akbar was at the center of all power. He was the only head of his military and administrative setup. But he was helped by the members of his cabinet in discharging the administrative duties. Cabinet consists of several senior officers. There was Wazir. Wazir was similar to Prime Minister. He was the principal advisor of the emperor. Then there was Diwan. Diwan was in charge of revenue and finance. Diwan was similar to the finance minister. Then there was Mir Bakshi. The Mir Bakshi was the paymaster of the army, even though the emperor was commander in chief of the army. Then was Qazi. Qazi was the highest judicial head. He was just next to emperor. Qazi looked after education. Also there was Sadr Sudar. He was in charge of religious endowments. Akbar has divided his empire into 15 provinces known as Sabas. Each province was headed by a governor known as Subedar. The provinces were divided into districts known as Sarkars. Each Sarkar or province consisted of several parganas, and several villages together made up a pargana. In order to consolidate the empire, consolidate here mean to hold together. Akbar introduced uniformity in all the provinces, military administration or the Mansabdari system. Akbar also introduced Mansabdari system so that greater order could be brought into system of military administration. Mansab is an Arabic term which meant rank. Mansabdari system was a system which consists of a hierarchy of ranks or offices. In Mansabdari system, every civil or military official was given a jagir. Jagir mean a piece of land. Jagir was given according to his zat or rank. The military officials were known as Mansabdar. The Mansabdar used to draw their salaries from the revenue of the land. They also had to maintain certain number of horses for emperor's use. A new grade called Savar was introduced. Savar was introduced to define that how many cavalry a military commander expected to maintain. Cavalry means the army who have horses. Land revenue policy. Akbar adopted the system of land revenue which was introduced by Sher Shah Suri. Akbar further introduced certain additional features to bring greater relief to the people. Raja Todar Mal was the chief revenue officer. Todar Mal also introduced the Dashala system. Under the Dashala system, the land was divided into four groups. The land was divided depending on its fertility and the number of time it was cultivated in a year. Land revenue was fixed as per the quality of land. Under the Shala system, the revenue was calculated on the basis of 10-year average yields and prices of crops. The state took one third of the average yield. Revenue could be paid in cash or in kind. This system continued for more than 100 years. The government do not interfere in the affairs of the farmers. However, if the farmers were unable to pay their taxes on times, the government have to interfere, and this used to send soldiers to forcibly collect the revenue from the farmers. About Rajput policy. Akbar was a really smart man. He understood that if he wanted everyone to accept him as the monarch of an empire in India, he has to support Rajputs, as it could not be possible without their support. Therefore, Akbar gave important posts to Rajputs and other Hindus in his administration. Few of the Rajputs named Raja Todar Mal, Raja Birbal, Raja Bihari Mal, his son Bhagwan Das, and grandson Man Singh were some of the Rajputs who held important positions in Akbar's court. Akbar gave the Rajput complete freedom to follow their religion, build temples, celebrate festivals, and wear their caste mark on their forehead. Religious policy. Akbar followed a policy of religious tolerance. Akbar was a liberal ruler who believed in the equality and unity of all religions. He employed Hindu in his government and gave many of them high ranks. He abolished the religious tax on non-Muslim Jaiza. Then Akbar married Hindu princess and allowed her to practice their religion. He married the daughter of Raja Bihari Mal of Amber, Jaipur. Their son Salim later became Emperor Jahangir. At his new capital, Fatehpur Sikri, Akbar opened the Ibadat Khana. He invited people of various faiths to come here and discuss matter of religion with him. After few years, Akbar founded his own religion. He called him Dini Ilai, or Dini Ilai mean divine faith. It was based on the teachings and belief of all the major religions. It stressed belief in one God. This new belief made Akbar unpopular with the Orthodox Muslims. The Orthodox Muslims could not accept Akbar's ideologies. Dini Lai did not survive for long after Akbar's death. Akbar's religious policy was one of the main strengths of his rules. Art and culture under Akbar. Akbar was a great follower of art. He was known for the brilliance of the court he maintained. In his court were the Navratnas, or the nine jewels. Nine jewels of Akbar's court included Mia Tansen, he was the court singer and magician. Then Abul Fazl, he was the court poet and chronicle. Birbal was known for his wit and wisdom. Todar Mal and Man Singh was renowned general. Abul Fazl was the wazir and historiographer in Akbar's court. Abul Fazl were well known for his work, the Akbarnama. The Akbarnama is a rich source of information about Akbar and his life during the Mughal period. On the right hand side, there is a picture which shows Akbar supervising the construction of Fatehpur Sikri, his new capital near Agra. This painting was taken from the Akbarnama. Then, architecture. Akbar was one of the mightiest sovereigns known to history. He was prolific builder, prolific means productive, one of the outstanding example of architecture during Akbar's rule is the new capital he built at Fatehpur Sikri. At Fatehpur Sikri, we can see a beautiful blend of Indian, Persian, and Central Asian styles of architecture.